Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Steve Percy from Sprint Network. So the clock has just struck 10 here in Sydney. And with that, welcome to our second remote working solution powered by Fortinet. So today, I'm joined by Kay Kang, who's the Technical Operations Manager at Sprint Network. So welcome, Kay, and thanks a lot for joining us. So today, I'll be doing a little bit of intro, and then I'll pass it on to Kay Kang, who'll be doing the actual demo itself. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Apart from that, we've got a great attendance today, just like every other Friday. So thanks a ton to everyone for joining in. So without any further ado, let's get started. So just a few housekeeping rules before we get started. We'll have a Q&A session at the end. So if you have got any questions, please feel free to pop it into the chat window from where we'll pick them up, and we'll try and answer as many questions as we can. If you want to find out more about our products and services, please visit our website, sprintnetworks.com.au. And just one final request which we have from our side is for all of you to go social with the hashtag #SNRemote, because at the end of the day, it's all about creating awareness. So now let's get started. So when it comes to remote working, in my opinion, any business in today's world is plagued by three major challenges. So what exactly are they? Well, the first one is the lack of proper endpoint security. The second one is the lack of a proper management tool. And the third one is the lack of secure access to your HQ or data center. So how can we mitigate these problems? How can we get around these three major problems or challenges which plague every business in today's world? Well, that's what we are offering with our solution, because our solution is just not any other, it's not like any other solution out there. So let me show you why our solution is a standout solution in today's world. So what exactly is endpoint security? Well, endpoint security is the practice of securing endpoints or entry points of end-user devices, such as desktops, laptops, and mobile devices from being exploited by malicious actors and campaigns. Another thing is, it's a small bit of trivia. Endpoints are frequently the target of initial compromise or attack. There was a recent study that was conducted, and that study found that 30% of breaches involved malware being installed on endpoints. So how can we solve that problem? Well, our solution, or the FortiClient solution, strengthens endpoint security through integrated visibility, control, and proactive defense. With the ability to discover, monitor, and assess endpoint risks, you can ensure endpoint compliance, mitigate risks, and reduce exposure. The FortiClient solution proactively defends against advanced attacks. Its tight integration into the security fabric enables policy-based automation to contain threats and control outbreaks. What was the other challenge we saw in this slide? Well, the other one was the lack of proper management tool, right? So how do we get around that problem? Well, now let's assume your IT department wants to manage multiple users and also at the same time monitor the entire network. Or apart from that, let's say your IT manager wants to assign security profiles to each and every user. So without a proper management tool, this is going to be a very long and arduous process. So with our solution, the FortiClient EMS solution enables scalable and centralized management of multiple endpoint devices. It can be used in a security fabric to provide visibility across the network, to securely share information, and also assign security profiles to endpoints. Now let's get back to my other slide and see what the third challenge was. So that was the lack of access to, the lack of secure access to your HQ or data center. So how do we here at Sprint Networks, along with Fortinet, get around that problem? Well, Fortinet solution secures access to your HQ or data center through secure IPsec tunnels or SSL VPN protocol. This secures the traffic between the user and the HQ and prevents man-in-the-middle and zero-day attacks. So this is how we get around the three major challenges. We provide the best endpoint security, secure access to your HQ, and a management tool to monitor, manage, and configure it all. So with that, I come to the end of my presentation. For the demo, let me bring in my friend Kay Kang, who's going to blow us away with the actual demo itself. So Kay, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Kay from Spring Networks. Welcome to our weekly live webinar session. First of all, as we know, a huge number of employees around the world are being required to work remotely, intentionally or unintentionally, for the current medical crisis. Employees access to corporate resources through the internet access from home or cafe or even from public transport. Many companies guide employees to use just the VPN type connections to access to corporate resources, and they are less concerned about endpoint security. And some companies might provide remote workers commercial type antivirus program like McAfee or Symantec in order to protect the employees' PCs. There are no proper ways to apply the identical company security rules to end users with a centralized management. Companies can track how end users are applying security rules or features on their PCs, or even whether end users are protected or not from cyber attacks. End user PCs could be compromised from many different types of threats coming from the internet, like antivirus, malware, or malicious website. In consequence, personal or business data stored on user PCs could be lost or damaged, or data could be leaked and reused for cyber crimes. Spring Networks provides optimal secure remote working solutions using Fortinet FortiClient platform. Fortinet FortiClient helps protecting end users using not only VPN connections, but also various advanced security features, such as malware protections, application firewall, web filtering, vulnerability scans, and so on, powered by Fortinet. All endpoints are managed and deployed by the centralized management point, FortiClient EMS. You'll see FortiClient can help remote workers connect to the corporate network securely and protect end users from cyber threat. Working through the live demo this time. This is the main dashboard for FortiClient EMS, where your IT department administrator can manage corporate end user centrally. When NPC is onboarded with FortiClient EMS on our demo lab, and it shows the status from the screen. You can do grouping and the users using Forti endpoint menu, and we see the on Windows 10 PCs onboarded on task group. You can run antivirus scan or patch or receive logs from FortiClient, and also quarantine end user PCs that breach your corporate security policies. This is end PCs that I installed for the client. So let me try quarantine from FortiClient EMS. We will see how the quarantine functions works and apply to the end PCs. Now the PC is quarantined. So when we try to access to the internet, it's blocked. So even I try ping, you can't access to the internet. So let me unquarantine now. This PC will be unquarantined after the synchronized time. The default, the synchronization interval is 1 minute, so it might take times. So this function is very powerful, which means you are able to control the end user PCs and centralized. And now it's on quarantine, so just on quarantine. So we had to wait 1 minute, as I mentioned. Yeah, now accessible internet. So now we can access internet as well. All right, let's move back to the menu. Let's move on to the policy menu. On the policy menu, you can create and manage endpoint policies to assign the profiles, telemetry gateways list, which is FortiGate, and the work groups. You can configure and manage all setups about the FortiClient from endpoint profiles menu. I'm going to show you some major features with FortiClient on our demo lab. We see FortiClient consoles from NPC users and the user PC, and it shows the main menu. So this is FortiClient, the console. So left-hand side, you can see some menus, multiple menus on the FortiClient console. Firstly, the FortiClient malware protection contains antivirus, anti-exploit, and cloud-based malware protection. Cloud-based malware detections, removable media access scan, and so on. Firstly, for antivirus protection features detect infected files real-time and quarantines. You can also run virus scan from FortiClient EMS centrally or on FortiClient console locally. The next is a cloud-based malware protection feature helps protect endpoints from high-risk file types from external resources, such as the internet or internet network drives by querying FortiGuard to determine whether files are malicious. The anti-exploit protects your endpoint against advanced threats, including zero-day attacks, which target application vulnerabilities that have yet to be discovered or patches. Lastly, FortiClient controls access to the removable media devices, such as USB drivers. FortiClient can allow the block or monitor access to removable media devices. So we will see now the malware protection features by testing. So I'm now in the malicious test at the website. Let me try to download the one malicious the file. So as you can see, FortiClient is quarantined the malicious files. Move back to the menu. So web filter. So web filter allows you to block and allowed one and monitor web traffic based on URL category or custom URL filters. A URL categorization is handled by the FortiGuard distribution network. So let me try out the filter the social media website or use website. So here from test profile that I set up, I blocked use and media. Also, I blocked social network. So let me try to open any social media network or news website. So I just try to open the Facebook. One more. Yeah, I just also try to open the Twitter. So it's blocked the weed security issue. And let me try to open any use website, maybe CNN. Yeah, it's blocked. One more, maybe ABC News. I'm not sure this is the correct website to URL. ABC News video. Yeah. Yeah, it's blocked. Right. So from here, the web filter menu is we can check the blocked site from the violation menu. So as you can see here is the URL abc.net au is news media medias. So what time is blocked, what time is PGT to the website, and CNN, Twitter, Facebook. So we see the history of the violation. Let's move on to vulnerability scan. Vulnerability scan checks endpoint for known vulnerabilities. You can run the scan from FortiClient EMS centrally or on FortiClient locally. It shows detected vulnerabilities categorized to each level. You can go through the fix process by clicking the fix now buttons. So let's try out vulnerability scan. In this time, gonna try excuse the vulnerability scan from the FortiClient EMS centrally from the scan menu. So you can see the vulnerability scan. So if I click on it, let me see. So after the synchronization interval, the vulnerability scan will start. So 40 seconds, let's see. So here we can see fix now button. So after button up scan, it will show that the result of the scanning, and you can go through the fixing process by clicking on the fix now button. So here, so scan now button as well. Okay, so you can start scanning locally by clicking scan now button. So yeah, it seems like it started. Yep, the scanning now started. Button up scanning. So you can see the process from the screen. Yep, done. So scan is complete. So once the scan is completed, it will show that the vulnerability scanned the result. So you can see the total vulnerability found. If you click, you see the categories of the vulnerability scanning. So if you want, you can fix, click. So FortiClient will go through the fixing process. All right, let's move on to remote access, which is about VPN access. FortiClient supports both IPsec and the SSL VPN connections to your corporate network for remote access. Administrators can use the FortiClient EMS to provision VPN configurations for FortiClient, and the endpoint users can configure new VPN connections using FortiClient. So let me try to access. VPN, IPsec VPN connection to the FortiGate. All right, let's now connect it. So there is a file server behind the FortiGate in our lab. So I'm going to try to download the file from file server through the VPN connections. So file server, let me try to ping first. Ping. Yes, I can ping the file server. All right. Okay. Okay, there is one file in there, so which name's test.mp4. So let me try download the file. All right, it's downloading. So let's check from FortiGate, which is centralized, the concentrating or VPN client access. Let me reload. So I just want to check the IPsec monitors. So here we see the FortiClient VPN access from IPsec monitor menu. So you can see the incoming data and outgoing data is, you can see the 140 megs. It's about the files that I just download. All right, so my live demo session is pretty much done today. So we will have a Q&A time. So please ask us any question on the chat windows. If you have any question about these solutions, I will hand off the session to Steve. Steve.
Thank you, Kay. That was absolutely brilliant, Kay. So let me just bring my screen back up. So yeah, so with the end of case demo, we have come to the end of our webinar today. So if you've got any questions, feel free to pop them into the chat window. So Kay, I've actually got a question here from one of our attendees. So the question is, are there other solutions which can do what the Fortinet solution does? Well, the answer to that is very, very simple. When it comes to integrating endpoint security with proper management, no other solution can do what the solution does. And at the end of the day, that's what makes the solution so special, and that's what makes the solution stand out from all the other solutions out there. So I hope that answers your question. And yeah, it looks like we've got another question as well. So, so the question is, would I be able to install the Fortinet solution if I've already got another antivirus software running on my computer? Well, unfortunately, the answer to that is no, because you would have to uninstall that antivirus software first to install the Fortinet solution. So yes, so yeah, you would have to do it that way to get the solution to work. Looks like any other questions? I think that's it, Kay. So I think let's call it a day today. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining us today on our webinar. To find out more about our products and services, you can go to sprintnetworks.com.au. If you want to reach out to us, you can write to us at info@sprintnetworks.com. So we'll be back next Friday at the same time with the same webinar. So till then, take care and goodbye.